The question is this: there has to be a reason for everybody's T, meaning tinnitus.
Yeah.
I can see hearing loss, the cause, if it gradually comes about. But what about waking up one morning with it? Question mark. I heard sugar spikes can do it, neck or indeed spine problems. Why are some people that are stressed out get it with others who stay stressed don't? Question
Yeah.
mark.
Good question.
Yeah, T will cause suicides. It's not fair. No one has found a solution. It's been around for years. Wow. Okay.
Absolutely, and it is frustrating, but there is no solution to a natural normal body function, which is what tinnitus is. And I
Wow.
think we kind of need to look at that aspect
Yes.
of it and say, okay, but why has it got out of kilter? Why is it something that's become so overwhelming in our lives when it should just be there in the background?
Yeah.
Unless there's a disease process causing this. So number one, when you first experience a troublesome tinnitus, is to go and see your GP. Go and talk to your general practitioner or wherever you are in the world, who that might be. And if it's troublesome for you, to ask for a referral through to see an audiologist.
Wow.
I think that's usually a quicker step than going to see ENT, because you could sit on a waiting list to see a doctor for some time, but an audiologist is generally someone you can see quite quickly and get a hearing test and make sure there's no disease process behind that. And if the
Yes.
audiologist feels there is, they can make that referral for someone to look at that for you. So then you alleviate a lot of stress surrounding the tinnitus immediately and anxieties, which helps to bring those levels of tinnitus down. So there can't be a cure for something that's a natural normal phenomenon. It's just there is lots of support and lots of help to put it back in the place it came from at a manageable level.
Wonderful.
Rather than something that for some reason is now unmanageable and seems to be right there all the time, really controlling someone's life, which it doesn't need to be at all.
No.
So there's lots of help and lots of support for people to put it back in its place. And often I find that I know people say, it can cause suicide, tinnitus can cause suicide, but what we see is a manifestation of tinnitus often, which came first, the depression or the anxiety or the tinnitus, or has it all just spiraled out of control together? And it probably is all just together. So certainly lots of things that can be done to help people. Even CBT is a great management tool for helping people to put tinnitus back in their place if normal relaxation therapies don't work, and we've looked at other avenues like musculoskeletal problems or medications. There's always another thing that we can try, as long as the person is willing to work with the clinician together to find that peace.
Yes.
And it's manageable, but it might take a bit of time, and cooperation.
Yeah.
It's got to be something that you work together with someone with. So
Incredible.
hopefully, if you can find the right person that works for you, and it might take that you go and see one audiologist and you think, I don't. That's not working for me. I need to go and see somebody else. And hearing therapists, I mean, they're magical creatures, and
they
really help people
unbelievable
to put the tinnitus back in their place and have a huge depth of knowledge and understanding. So, if you're ever feeling desperate, you must speak to your GP. There's lots of things a GP can do to help you and monitor you and give you some great advice, and then pass you on to somebody who can help you with the tinnitus side, and the doctor help you with the other side of your emotions.
And that's it, because you're getting then the full support, aren't you, of professionals?
Yeah, exactly. I would highly recommend being incredibly cautious about looking online at things. I know this is online, and so but do be really cautious of forums that you get onto, because sometimes they can have a really negative impact on your tinnitus. And it's something, when you're already feeling negative about tinnitus, you don't want to have more negativity around you. You want to be somewhere where you've got a bit more positive input, and hopefully by going to see somebody with real expertise like a GP, an audiologist, a hearing therapist, ENT doctor, they're going to give you some positivity around the tinnitus that's going to help you to be able to put it back in its place, is what I say. You
That's
know,
brilliant. It's brilliant.
it sometimes takes a long time.
Yeah.
You know, it's not always a magic quick fix, and people get a bit frustrated by that. But anything in life that's worthwhile.
Yeah, I
is
found
hard
that,
work.
Susan. I used to sometimes, if with my tinnitus in the early days when it was really, really bad, and so I would do a gig or do something to make it worse or exasperate the condition. Sometimes I'd look at even, you know, and I'm not being dramatic, it would take 2 years.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
in that 2 years, it would be absolutely stable and fine, and
Yeah.
I would be back on the road again.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it doesn't have to take that time. With me, it just did, because I think I was highly sensitive to sound.
Yeah. Yeah.
So if I wasn't, maybe it would be a lot quicker.
Yeah.
And at that time, I didn't have the help and support that you're mentioning.
No, so that's right. It can
I was
help,
muddling through.
Exactly, and if you had the help and support, that would have hopefully, you'd like to think that would have been a bit quicker.
I know it would have been,
Yeah,
definitely.
don't put off getting and seeking support if you're struggling with tinnitus. Get out and get it as quick as you can, because the quicker you get it, the less anxiety surrounding it, the more quickly you can get back on track with things.
Thank you, Susan.